Hello students, today we are going to take up converting speech in comics and graphic novels. Before starting this, let me have a quick recap of the various types of sentences that are based on function, and we have 4 such types of sentences, namely declarative sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences and exclamatory sentences. In the last video, we discussed the rules pertaining to statements when they are changed to reported speech, and today we are going to take up questions or interrogative sentences and the rules of changing such sentences into reported speech. So let's get started about these types of sentences. First of all, I'm going to share some key or general rules associated with questions. The first and the foremost rule is that we have to change the question structure into a statement. That means we have to remove the question mark of the question and make it into a statement. That means the sentence will end in a full stop, like a statement. Secondly, we have to use reporting verbs like asked, inquired, wanted to know, wondered and so on. Next, we have to change the pronouns, tenses and time expressions accordingly, the way we discussed in statements. So let me elaborate more on this now. First of all, let's talk about how many types of questions are there. So are you confused? Yes, we have 2 types of questions. First is a yes or no question. So yes or no question is the one that has an answer that is yes or no. For example, are you ready for the movie? So the answer is yes or maybe no. So this is called a yes-no question. And the second type is WH questions that start with who, what, where, when, why or how. So maybe what are you doing? So we have different types of rules for yes-no questions and different types of rules for WH questions. So I'm going to start with yes-no questions first. First of all, in yes or no question, we have to add this word if or maybe whether in the reported speech. So let me elaborate with the help of an example. For example, if in direct speech we have the sentence, she said, do you like pizza? So this is a sentence that has a question mark and it starts with yes or no question. So it will be transformed to reported speech and it becomes like this. She asked, we have added the reporting verb asked and we have added this word if. I like pizza. So other rules related to pronouns and tenses remain the same as we have discussed earlier in the case of statements. So let me take another example. He said, will you come to the party? So again, this is a yes-no question. He asked whether I would come to the party. So here I have added the word whether. So it may be if or whether, both the words are acceptable. Now moving on to the next type of question, that is WH question. In this, the pertinent rule is that we have to keep the WH word intact. We have to take it as it is. Maybe if it's what, where, when, why, how, etc. we have to keep that word as it is in the reported speech and make the necessary changes in pronouns and tenses and time expressions. So let me take an example for this. She asked, where do you live? So this is a WH question and the answer in reported speech would be, she asked where I lived. In this, we are not adding any word, rather we are keeping this word intact. So where we have in direct speech and the same word will be carried forward in the reported speech. So let's take another example. He said, what is your name? Again, this is a WH question and the answer would be, he asked what my name was. And third, she said, why are you late? She asked why I was late. So this is very simple that we have to keep the WH word. But yes, there is something very important that I would like to share with you students. When we are transforming a question into a statement, we have to keep the sentence structure in mind. For example, instead of writing this, she asked why I was late, you may write, she asked why was I late, and full stop. So you may say this is correct. No, this is incorrect because this is not a statement. It again becomes a question. So what is the structure of a question? In a question, we have a WH word, then we have a helping verb, and then the subject. Whereas in a statement, we have the subject first. Okay, so we have to write I was late when we are transforming question into a sentence structure. So this point is really very relevant when we are changing WH question into a statement. Now I am going to share with you different types of tense and how they are transformed into corresponding questions. So in direct speech, we have simple present. It is transformed to its corresponding past, that is simple past. And if the sentence is where do you live, it is transformed to she asked where I lived, full stop. Then present continuous changes to past continuous. What are you doing is changed to he asked what I was doing. Present perfect changes to past perfect. The example is, have you finished your homework? She asked if I had finished my homework. We are adding if here because this is a yes-no question. Simple past changes to past perfect. When did you arrive? She asked when I had arrived. Past continuous changes to past perfect continuous tense. Why were you crying? He asked why I had been crying. Will changes to would. Will you help me? He asked if I would help him. Can changes to could. Can you swim? She asked if I could swim. May changes to might. May I leave early? He asked if he might leave early. Now students, that we have learnt all the rules related to changing questions into reported speech, now is the practice time. I have a question for you that you are supposed to transform it into reported speech, and the question is, what are the students doing? The teacher asks. So take out your notebook and try to attempt the answer to this question. I am waiting. I hope you are correct, and the answer is the teacher wanted to know what the students were doing. As you can see, this is a WH question. We have retained the word WH, that is what, and we have changed are doing, that is present continuous tense, to its corresponding past, that is past continuous tense. I hope you got it right. Now I am going to give you another chance for practicing. So the second question is, will you go to the cinema tonight? He asked me. As you can see, this is a yes-no question, and the answer would be, he wanted to know if, we have to add the word if, I would go to the cinema that night. So we have to change tonight into that night. I am sure students, now you are well versed with the rules of transforming questions into reported speech, and you would be able to attempt a very interesting and simple task that I have for you, and this is the task. You are supposed to convert these sentences from reported speech to direct speech, or vice versa, that is direct to reported speech. I am sure you are going to enjoy doing this task, and yes, we are going to take up another type of sentence that can be transformed to reported speech in the coming video. Till then, enjoy doing this task. Happy learning. Thank you.